Hey guys, this is Alex with GuitarForce.com. Today we continue with part 3 of the Little Wing by Stevie Ray Vaughan. The links to parts 1 and 2 are going to be in the description box down below if you haven't had a chance to check it out. The tabs for download are going to be available for purchase at GuitarForce.com. Also, you can pick up the backing track to this song for free. If you would like to support this channel, all of the links are going to be in the description box down below as well. And big thanks to everybody who has supported me so far. As far as the sound, I was using the same preset for the VST plugin Guitar Rig. However, I've added a pedal, which is the overdrive pedal, OCD by Full Tone, just to add a little bit more sustain, because this part needs it. You know, just a little bit of hair, nothing crazy. And as far as the tuning, it's going to be the same tuning, obviously the E-flat tuning. So tune down your strings half a step, and let's take a listen to the first section of this part. Then we'll come back close up and start the lesson. Let's check it out. Alright, so like I said in the beginning, I was using an overdrive pedal for this part, the Full Tone OCD, and for the sake of this lesson I'm going to reduce the drive a little bit more so you can actually hear the notes. So here's my clean guitar, and if I add the overdrive, as you can hear, we still got a little bit of hair, but not too much of the overdrive. For the samples, I was using slightly more, so it has a little bit more of sustain. Alright, so that's that. Now let's go for the licks, and the first one goes like this. Alright, so here we start off with these open strings, just to create some sound, and then we go into the bend. On the B string, 15th fret, bend up a whole step and add some vibrato. And if you get the G string also while vibrating the B string at the same time, that's totally fine. Then after that we have another open strings, and then we go into same string bends on the 15th fret 3 times. Third time when we play the bend, we then go into the lick. So 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then we go into the lick on the B string 15 to 12, G 14 bend up, full step, then we go B 12 high E 12, back to G string 14th fret, bend up, bring it down, pull off to 12, 14 on D string, and then we go right into the bend on the G string again, 14th fret. So far we got this slowly. As we bend up the G string at 14th fret, add some vibrato, then the second part of the lick goes. So 12 on a high E, 15 on B. As we hold this B string on the 15th fret, add the G string bend on the 14th fret. So you get this nice double stop sound. After the bend, we pull off from 14 to 12 on the G string, 14 on D, 12 on G, add some vibrato, and then 14 on D, and slide out. Alright, so the whole first phrase. Next lick. so this one is a little bit long phrase. So as we slide out on the G string from the previous lick, we then slide up back to the 12th position right here, and we play on the G string 12, 14, bend up. Then we have a quick hammer on from 12 to 14, add some vibrato. Then we have hammer on pull off 12, 14, 12 on the G string, 14 on D, then we go 12 to 14 on G, 15 on B, then we have a bend on the G string 14th fret, and as you bend up at the same time, pick those high E and the B strings at the 15th fret. So, and then as you play these notes and the G string is bent up, then pick it again, bring it down. So bring it down, pull off to 12. So one more time. So 12, 14, slide bend, back to 12 on the G. Then we have, excuse me, 14, 12, 14 on D string, 12 on low E. So we have again this string skipping thing, lick, and then play 12 double stop on the G and the B strings, back to 14 on the D. So. Then we have quick hammer on pull off on the D string 12, 14, 12. It's a kind of grace note. 14 on A, then we go 14, 13, and then we have another hammer on pull off 12, 13, 12 on the A string, 15 to 12 on low E. Then we have again skip the string and we go to the D string playing 12 to 14. Pick it one more time so you can play like a hammer on. And then we play 2, 3 strings, high E, B and G on the 12th fret and slides out. Okay? So again, the whole phrase from the top goes like this. Next part. So here, as we slide out from the previous lick, then we go back again to the 12th position and we play this melody, which is 14, bend up on the G string, then playing 12 to 14. Oh, and before that, I just forgot, again we have these open strings. So that's the beginning of the lick. Then again we have kind of open strings. Sorry. So again, bend up on the 14th fret G string. Now here Stevie is hitting the strings, but the notes are not really coming out. So, you know, it might be just like a little mistake that he did, but nevertheless, the lick is, I think, supposed to go like this. So the bend on the G string, 14th fret, and then 14 to 12 on the G, adding some vibrato. So from the top. Okay, then we have again open string, gradual bend on the 14th fret of the G string. Then we go play 12 on B, and then we have this lick. So the first one, it's a grace note from 12 to 13 on the B string. Then we have a hammer on, it's pretty quick as well, from 12 to 13. And then we have 2 more grace notes, 12 to 13, kind of faster. Then we have 12 on B to 12 on G, and we have a bend on the 15th fret of the B string. So one more time. And then after that we go alright, so this lick is familiar to us already from the previous part. So what we do is we have another open strings, and this is kind of going before the main sort of lick. So we have this lick, which is 15 on the B string, bend up, bring it down, pull off to 12, and we go right into the bend on the G string, 14th fret, and adding this double stop on the 15th fret of the high E and the B strings, like that. And then we go into already familiar lick to us. So it's a bend on the G string, and while you keep the bend up, adding the 15th fret of the high E and the B strings at the same time, 2 times. Then again we have the bend. So it's a bending up, adding the double stop, and then bend up again. So just listen carefully to the original track, and you're gonna be able to spot how to do it. Or just listen to what I play. So after this lick here in G, we then shift down to the F, and we do the same. So meaning that we go to 12th fret on the G string, and we add now 13 frets double stop on the high E and the B strings. So we have, and again we have this kind of slide up and down the neck, and then we go into, also already familiar to us, the ending. We have, this is slightly different. So we go to the C chord, and we have this a double stop. So on the G string it's 7, on B it's 8, and we play. So after the first double stop, we then just play the 9th on the G string while still keeping the finger on the 8th fret of the B string. So we have, and then we have hammer on, pull off. So from 7 to 9, back to 7, while still keeping that finger on the B string. Then we go to, I'm gonna be alternating these with the 10, excuse me, 10th fret on the D string. So we have, all right. And then after that we go into the D, and we have already also covered this one in the previous part. It's exactly the same. So we have, sorry. So as we slide into the D octave here, we then pick the higher part of the chord. Then we have, it's a suspended 4th, so on the 12th fret here we have on the G string, while still keeping the chord like that. So, and then we have hammer on, pull off, 11, 12, 11, and playing the chord, and practically playing these 2 times. The third time we have slightly different. So as we keep the hold the chord like that, we have a grace note from 11 to 12, then back to the chord, and then playing the whole chord again. Okay, and then after that again we have hitting the strings at the 12th fret harmonics, and then the open strings, and then we add the tremolo arm dive bomb, concentrating on this B string, but if you get the G string it's totally fine. So we have a dive bomb, and then we go into the next part of the second part of this part. Sorry for the confusion here, but the second part of this part. So let's take a listen to it again, and then we'll come back and break it down. Alright, so as we come out from the previous part, which ends with the gradual dive and release with the whammy bar on the open strings, we then go into the second part, and first of all I'm going to play the whole phrase, then we're going to break it down into parts. So the first phrase goes like this. Okay, so the beginning of this phrase starts off with the open strings again. And you can, the open strings are just, you know, for effect. So if you get the B and the G, or high E, B, G, and D, you know, it doesn't really matter as long as you create this effect. Okay, so open strings, then we have bend on the B string, 15th fret, adding some vibrato again. Then again we have the open string, another bend on the B string, 15th fret. Then we pick the 15th fret, bring down the bend. G string, 14th fret, bend up. Then we have quick hammer on the B string, 12 to 15. Another bend on the G string, 14th fret. So far we got this. So as we bend the G string on the 14th fret, we're going to keep it like that, and then what we do, we add the double stop on the high E and the B strings at the 15th fret, pick it a couple of times, like that, and then what we do is we go into tremolo picking with the picking hand. So we're going to be picking all these three strings at the same time, but we have a slight rhythm here, and also the G string is doing some bends, so it bends up, brings down, bends up, and we do this for 4 times. There is you know, it's tied to the rhythm. So again, I'm just gonna play it kind of slower. It goes like this. So as we do this 4 times, we then, like I said, picking all 3 strings. Then what we do is we're going to be playing a melody on a G string, but at the same time again fretting this, at least the B string. Sometimes he plays the high E as well, but mostly it's just, you know, this kind of effect where you play a certain melody on the G string while keeping the B string at the same time. So the melody itself on the G string only is going to be like this. So let's break it down so far. As we have the bend up on the G string, what we do, we bring it down, then we play 12 to 14 2 times. Then we have a hammer on pull off, 12, 14, 12 on the G string, 14 on D, back to G string, 12, bend up, 14th fret, then pick the 14, back to 12, 14 on D, and so far, at this point, we get rid of the B string. So far we got the B string with us. So as we get to the 14th fret on the D string here, second time, we then have just playing this melody on the G string. So 12 on G, then we have a very big bend here on the 16th fret of the G string, step and a half, and then we immediately go back to the 14th fret and we have a bend full step, bring it down, pull off to 12, and then go on to the D string playing 14, 12, 14, and then picking the 12th fret on the G string, adding some vibrato, and then sliding out from the 14th fret on the D string, and playing an open low E string. Alright, so again, I'm going to play this phrase from the top, kind of slower, so you can hear what's going on. Here we go. After that, the next phrase goes like this. Okay, so let's break it down so far. After we play the low E open, we then pick the high E and the B strings at the same time. So we have double stop, open, then we have third fret on the B string, and then again back to open strings. Then we have, it's a quick slide from the second fret on the G string up to the fourth fret, and then picking the B string open, high E string open. Alright, so this is the first part. Then we have, so here, quick slide from the second fret to the third, back to the second to open on the G string, second fret on the D string, and then we have, so open G, second fret, slides up to the fourth, keep that a finger on the fourth fret, and then let the strings ring out. So we add third fret on the B string, open high E, back to third fret on the B string. Alright, so one more time, slower. After that we go into this fast lick, but the first phrase is still slow, goes like this. So as we stay here on the B string, third fret, what we do is we hammer onto the fifth fret, grace note, add some vibrato, and then we have third fret on the high E, back to the fifth fret on the, third fret on high E, back to the fifth fret on B string. Then we have slide bend on the fifth fret of the high E, and then 3 to 5 on the high E string. So now next lick is gonna be really fast, and it goes like this. Alright, so let's break this lick down into parts. So we start off with the third fret on the high E string. Then we go to B, we play 5-3 open 2 times. So pull-offs. Then we go to the G string. Third fret, down, slide down to the second, to the open. D string, second fret. So. Then we have, so it's an open G string, and then we go into bend on the second fret, and as we bend it up, we play B string open, high E open, then third fret pull off to open on the B string, then we have 3 to open on the G, second fret on the D. So far we got this. Then after that we have slide from the second fret on the G string to the fourth, picking the B string at the third, and then again quick slide from the fourth on the G string back to the second, open, second fret on the D string, like this. Then we have, it's a quick kind of grace note on the G string from the second fret to the third, back to the second, pull off to open, D string second fret, and then we go to open on the G, like that. Back to the D string, second fret, and then we have, so we have a grace note open to the second fret on the D string, open, then we go to A string 2, 1. Here we have a quick hammer-on pull-off, open, first fret to open on the A string, third fret on the low E string, then we go to D, open, second fret on the A, back to open string, the D string open, so we have this. Then we have open A string, hammer-on, pull-off onto the first fret, again back to open, third fret on the low E, open A, third fret on the low E, and then the last hammer-on, pull-off is going to be on the A string, open, second to open. Now also keep in mind that this lick is played really fast, and it's not tied to a time, as to say. It kind of floats around. So the first part starts real fast, and then when we get to the lowest strings, it kind of slows down. So what I suggest you do is learn all these notes, how to play them, and then gradually speed it up. But also try listening to Stevie, how he's playing this lick, timing-wise. Or, just listen to my cover of what I did. And try to, put it together with the time. So one more time, the whole lick, I'm going to play it real slow so you can actually hear all of the notes. It goes like this. Okay, so after this lick, we go to the familiar lick already to us in the end, but we're going to shift positions here. So we're going to start with... Okay, so when we go to the G chord, we have bending on the G string, second fret, and as you bend up, add the double stop on the third fret of the high E and the B strings at the same time. So we have... Okay, so bending, picking it 2 times, then we have another bend, picking it a few times, then we shift the whole thing up to the 12th fret and we have the same thing. Okay, so here we bend up, pick the double stop 2 times, another bend, picking the double stop, and then again we have this slide. Then we go to the C chord, and now we're going to shift the position to the 7th fret here, so bending on the 7th fret of the G string and picking the 8th fret of the high E and the B strings at the same time. And then we move up to the D chord, and so it's basically 2 frets up and 9 frets on the G string, bending up, picking the 10th fret of the high E and the B strings, again in the same fashion. So if I would play this part together with the bendings, goes like this. And then we have already familiar to us ending. So it's on the D chord, and again we have keeping this finger on the 7th fret position, fretting all of the strings. So we hammer onto the 9th on the D string, picking it 2 times, then we release it to the 7th fret. And also remember about the swing feel. Then we go to the 10th fret on the A string while still keeping this finger on the 7th position, and we have so after the 10th fret we add, basically we have moving bass note, which is so 9 to 7 on D, 10 to 7 on A, while keeping this finger fretting the this part of the D chord. And then in the end, of course, we're going to hammer onto the 9th fret of the A string. And then after that, in the end, we hit the harmonics again on the 12th fret, and then just open strings. We then reduce the gain or the overdrive on the pedal, and then add the whammy bar again, kind of diving. So that's pretty much it for this part. Alright guys, so this brings us to the end of this lesson. Thanks very much for checking it out. Hope you liked it. If you did like it, please hit the thumbs up button. Also comment, share, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Stay tuned for parts 4 and 5 later on, and don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar lessons. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.